This is Inside Indiana Business for the morning of Tuesday, September 12th, 2023. I'm Kate Sharon. Anderson's Community Hospital is fighting food insecurity in its community by operating a 3-acre farm solely to send its produce to local food banks. The communal investment means about 30,000 pounds of produce will be served to food insecure Madison County residents next year. The farm will also produce 20 pounds of honey each year and flowers for hospital patients. CEO Tom Bannon said he's focused on benefiting the community and addressing the severe problem along with their partners.
And so we thought, this would be a great way to really impact our community. There's always a need, and there's a great need. And we could do 60,000 pounds, and it wouldn't be enough.
The new push also means a new $2.5 million community center and kitchen called the Jetty Center will open. It will include a demonstration kitchen where chefs can show residents how to cook with the new influx of produce. Madison County is the 12th most food insecure county in the state at 14.8%. Overall, 1 in 7 Hoosiers lack consistent food access. Notre Dame received more than $200 million in research awards for the third consecutive year. Officials announced that the university recorded $216 million in research award funding in the 2023 fiscal year. The number of awards, 824 total, is the largest in university history. The largest portion of this funding came from federal agencies, pitching in nearly $120 million in research awards. The university's largest sponsor was the National Science Foundation, giving $24 million. First Source Bank, Elevance Health, Cummins, and 7 other Indiana companies were featured on Newsweek's America's Greatest Workplaces for Parents and Families 2023. The list ranks businesses on how family-friendly their workplaces are, including flexible working hours, parental leave, and child support. From the #1 source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Get ready, Northeast Indiana. We're headed your way. IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation invite you to the 2nd annual Engage Northeast Indiana event, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. Tuesday, October 10th at the Grand Wayne Center. We'll be diving into talent, education, and other issues shaping the regional economy. You can find more at ibj.com/engage.
The U.S. government is taking aim at what has been an indomitable empire, Google's ubiquitous search engine that has become the internet's main gateway. IIB's Gary Dick has more.
The U.S. government is taking aim at what has been an empire, Google's ubiquitous search engine that has become the internet's main gateway. The legal attack will swing into full force Tuesday in a Washington, D.C. federal courtroom that will serve as the battleground for the biggest U.S. antitrust trial since regulators went after Microsoft and its dominance of personal computer software a quarter of a century ago. The 10-week trial is expected to include potentially revealing testimony from top executives at Google and its corporate parent, Alphabet, as well as other powerful technology companies. The case against Google mirrors the one brought against Microsoft in many ways, including the existential threat it poses to a renowned tech giant whose products are relied on by billions of people. Google could be hobbled if the antitrust trial culminates in concessions that undercut its power. One possibility is the company could be forced to stop paying Apple and other companies to make Google the default search engine on smartphones and computers. Nearly 3 years after filing its antitrust lawsuit during the Trump administration, lawyers from the U.S. Justice Department will try to prove Google has been abusing the power of its search engine to stifle competition in ways that discouraged innovation. This is Gary Dick for Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Indiana's revenue collections outpaced projections in August. The Indiana State Budget Agency said Monday that general fund revenues last month totaled nearly $1.5 billion, which was 3% above the April 2023 forecast, but nearly 5% lower than the same month last year. The agency noted that the better-than-expected collections from individual income taxes outweighed lower-than-expected collections from sales and corporate income taxes. A 10-megawatt renewable energy project in Hendricks County has wrapped up construction this summer and will supply enough clean energy to power over 2,000 homes. It's Colorado-based Soul River Capital's first project in the state, one that will provide low-cost, sustainable energy to the county's residents. Carmel-based Celestial Energy Solutions also partnered on the project. Indy Star columnist Greg Doyle is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Kate Sharon for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.